Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling satisfactory on a Friday morning because chairman members cashed in on 5 different premium selections on my premium page yesterday. We had the Coyotes, LA Kings, Boston Bruins, as well as 2 different parlays that all cashed. And the only way you could access all of those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive chairman package. Now, as you know, chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my chairman podcast, absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do on my premium page and what I do right here with these free videos. Well, what I do with the free videos is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side, and total. And what I do on my premium pages, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays I actually like the best. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. Once again, happy Friday to you. Weekend's finally here. I know I'm feeling good. Satisfactory. Anyway, Cavs, Pacers, 7 o'clock East. Cleveland's -2.5, totals 223 and a hook. Now, we did see a half-a-point move toward Cleveland and the over in this one. And even though the Cavs are having a tough time getting to the basket, they should be able to do it with relative ease here tonight, especially against Indy. The Pacers are giving up 125 points a night, which is just about a league worst. And speaking of league worst, well, the Pacers are letting their opponents make 44% of their three-pointers against them. That is a league worst. Now, they're facing a Cleveland squad who does tend to start off fast. The Cavs are currently a top 10 first-quarter scoring team. Donovan Mitchell, he's dropping over 31 points a game, and he's also making 51% of his field goals. Meanwhile, Caris LeVert is second on the team in scoring. He's also drilling 42% of his long balls. But the biggest strength of this Cavs team is their defense. These guys are doing a nice job guarding perimeter shots. And when it comes to the injury report, Jerome's still out. Allen and Garland are questionable. Meanwhile, for the Pacers, Smith and Halliburton are questionable for them. And when it comes to the total in this one, 3 out of Indy's 4 contests this season did get over the total. We're talking overs against the likes of the Celtics, Wizards, and this very Cleveland team. As a matter of fact, 5 out of these teams' last 7 head-to-head gatherings with each other all got over the total as well. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. Give me the Cavaliers -2.5, over 223 and a hook. Next ball game, Knicks, Bucks, 7:30 p.m. East. Milwaukee's -7, totals 226. Despite laying several buckets in this spot here, the Bucks have failed to cover in 3 out of their 4 ball games to start the season. Failures to cover against the likes of the Raptors, Hawks, and Sixers. And shockingly, these guys have had significant problems guarding the paint and the perimeter. Milwaukee's got the highest defensive field goal percentage in the entire NBA right now. That is not a good thing. That means teams are shooting from close range very efficiently against them. And no real surprise here, they're also shooting well from long range as well. Milwaukee's allowing their competition to drain 41% of their 3 balls against them. A little lax on D if you ask me. They're facing a New York team who's actually the complete opposite. The strength of this Knicks franchise right now has been their defensive effort. The Knicks allow fewer field goals a game than any other team in the association. Julius Randle's grabbing nearly 9 defensive boards a night. He's also scoring 13 points a game on offense. And speaking of offensive production, Jalen Brunson's averaging over 20 points a night himself. Now, injury-wise, R.J. Barrett is questionable with a knee injury. Keep an eye on him as he is a big point producer for the Knicks here. Meanwhile, for the Bucks on the other side, Andre Jackson is battling a left hip contusion. Keep an eye on him. Now, 6 out of these franchises' last 8 head-to-head gatherings all stayed under the total. So once again, if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. Now, the Knicks saw all of their games this season stay under the number besides one. Give me the Knicks +7, under 226. All right, next contest I have for you. It is going to be Wizards Heat, 8 o'clock East. Miami's the 10-point favorite at home. Totals 226.5. And, I'm just not sure Miami's playing good enough basketball right now to lay double digits in this spot. I realize they're at home. I realize Washington isn't great. 10 points. That's a lot of points. And I'll tell you this much. Miami lost their last 4 straight, and they are having all kinds of problems getting to the hoop. Emo Jimmy and the boys are making fewer field goals a game than any other franchise in the league besides one. And no real surprise here, folks. The Heat's having trouble getting on the scoreboard late. They're a bottom 5 fourth quarter scoring team. They're facing a Washington club on the other side who has little problems shooting it inside the arc. They're actually in the top 5 in the East in field goals made per game. And when it comes to fourth quarter scoring, well, they're the opposite of Miami. They can get it done late in games, certainly putting up their fair share of points in the final 12 minutes. These guys are averaging nearly 30 fourth quarter points a game. Now, Kyle Kuzma is averaging 23 points a night. He's making just about 50% of his attempts from the field. Meanwhile, Jordan Poole's second on the roster in points, and he's got a handful of steals defensively. Now, Daniel Gafford and Corey Kispert are questionable for the Wizards. Keep an eye on them, especially Kispert. He's got the ability to put up points. Now, for Miami, Jimmy Butler's questionable with a knee. Caleb Martin's out. The Heat saw 2 out of their last 4 get over the posted total. Overs against the likes of the Bucks and Celtics. They also went 5-1 of the over in their last 6 gatherings with Washington. And speaking of the Wizards, they saw 3 out of their last 4 get over the total themselves. Overs against the likes of Atlanta, Boston, and the Pacers. Give me Washington +10, over 226.5. All right, next contest, Nets, Bulls, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Chicago's -4.5 in the Windy City. Totals 219. We did see a 1-point move toward Chicago in the under in this one. And even though the Bulls are rightfully favored at home here, they have had difficulties covering the point spread this season. They failed to cover in all their contests this year besides one. Meanwhile, Brooklyn on the other side, they've gone a perfect 4-0 against the point spread to start off the season themselves. Cam Thomas is scoring 28 points a game, and he's also making over 51% of his attempts from the field. Lonnie Walker is also drilling over 47% of his attempts from beyond the arc. Lonnie Walker, a legit deep ball threat here this year, at least in the early going. Now, the Nets are currently a top 3 fourth quarter scoring team, so getting it done late in games, backdoor always open. They're facing a Bulls team on the other side who struggles defensively late in games themselves. And when it comes to offensive production, well, Chicago just can't get it in the hoop. They can't make baskets. They're a bottom 3 field goal shooting team. And of course, in addition to that, Chicago's averaging only 9 3-pointers made per contest. They're in the bottom 3 in the NBA in that particular category. Now, injury-wise, more bad news for Chicago. Zach LaVine, he's battling some back problems. Keep an eye on him. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, usual suspects as Smith and Dinwiddie are officially listed as day-to-day. Nick Claxton still inactive. Now, total-wise, these teams' last 4 gatherings all fell under the number. 9-1 to the under in their last 10 head-to-head meetings as well. Meanwhile, this season, the Bulls saw 3 out of their last 4 stay under the total. Unders against the likes of the Mavericks, Pacers, and Raptors. Give me Brooklyn +4.5, keeping this one close, under 219. All right, next contest. Warriors, Thunder, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Golden State's -6, totals 227. And speaking of the total in this one, both teams have played some pretty good defense in different spots here. And when it comes to the actual number, OKC's seen their fair share of unders this year. 3 out of their last 4 ball games stayed under the total. Unders against the likes of the Pels, Nuggets, and Cavaliers. Meanwhile, Golden State on the other side, they saw all of their contests this season stay under the line except for one. Now, when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game's being featured as my $1.99 daily best play on my premium page. So if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line or against the point spread in this one, you may want to think about signing up for my daily best play on my premium page. It costs just $1.99 for 30 days of service. The math works out to be just 6 cents a day. And once again, you'll receive one premium selection of mine every single day for the next 30 days. But as far as making a free pick is concerned, give me the under 227. All right, next matchup I have for you. Another one should be a very good game. I'm talking about the Mavs at the Nuggets, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Denver is the 7-point favorite at the Ball Arena, totals 224. And even though it does feel like Denver's game to win, they have had their hands full with Dallas in recent gatherings. The Mavs have taken 4 out of these teams' last 6 head-to-head meetings, and they actually played really tough defensively. The Jazz have certainly had their issues scoring points against Dallas. And speaking of offensive production, it's the Mavs, who are currently making more three-pointers a game than any other club in the league right now. Dallas is currently drilling nearly 19 three-pointers per contest. And of course, a lot of that is thanks to Luka Doncic, who's making 42% of his deep balls. He's also leading the league in scoring. Luka's averaging over 33.5 points a night, along with double-digit rebounds. And of course, Tim Hardaway scoring 20 points a game off the bench. He's also drilling 43% of his three balls, a dangerous threat from three land. Now, they're facing a Denver squad on the other side of things who has had a tough time covering the number this year. These guys did fail to cover in their last 2 straight, 1-3 against the point spread in their last 4. They failed to cover this year against the likes of Minnesota, Utah, and Memphis. And even though there's really statistically not a whole lot to, nitpick when it comes to Denver, there are actually a few problem areas on the offensive end of the court. The Nuggets are making just 10 three-pointers a night, so really not a huge deep ball threat. Fairly efficient, but they're just not making a lot of them, not attempting a whole bunch. Once again, Nuggets making just 10 three-pointers a night. And they're also the worst free throw shooting team in the league right now, so really you can kind of hack a shack when they get into the paint, and they're not going to make you pay. Now, injury-wise, Braun and Murray are questionable. Nikola Jokic has been upgraded to probable. He was struggling with some lower back pain. Looks like he's okay and going to suit up here tonight. Meanwhile, for Dallas, Maxi Kleber and Kyrie Irving are questionable. When it comes to the total, 3 out of Dallas's last 4 outings did get over the total. Overs against the likes of Memphis, Brooklyn, and San Antonio. Give me the Mavericks +7 over 224. And with that, folks, we are going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Grizzlies-Blazers game, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. Memphis is -3.5, totals 219. And for some reason, we saw a 1-point move toward the winless Memphis Grizzlies and the over. Now, offensively, the Grizzlies have missed a ton of shots this year from the field. These guys have the second lowest field goal percentage in the NBA. And when it comes to defensive play, well, not much better. They're actually having a tough time defending the outside. They're giving up a league-worst 18 made three-pointers a game, and they could have their hands full with Malcolm Brogdon here tonight. He's making nearly 40% from long range, and Brogdon's also second on the roster in points. And speaking of scoring, Shaedon Sharpe, he leads the Blazers in points per contest. Now, injury-wise, Wainwright and Henderson are out for Portland. Aldama and Rose are doubtful for Memphis. 3 out of the Grizzlies' last 5 ball games fell under the total. Unders against the likes of Washington, Denver, and New Orleans. Meanwhile, Portland went 3-1 to the under in their last 4. Give me the Blazers +3.5, under 219. And with that, folks, now it is time for our quick pick recap. Give me the Cavaliers -2.5, over 223 and a hook. New York Knicks +7, under 226. Wizards +10, over 226.5. We cashed in on 5 different premium selections on my premium page yesterday. And the only way you could access all those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive chairman package. The link is in my bio. Brooklyn Nets plus 4.5, under 219. I like the under 227 in the Warriors-Thunder game. Dallas Mavericks plus 7, over 224. And give me the Blazers plus 3.5, under 219. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. Now, guys, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman membership, it's a full access, all-inclusive package. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast, absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Actually, joining me here on TikTok, YouTube and TikTok. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that, folks, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.